Hello students, we are starting Unit 2 today with poem number 9, The Tranti Vanti Gongolop. I am singing this first stanza for you and then I will explain it. There is a very funny insect that you do not often spy, and it isn't quite a spider and it isn't quite a fly. It is something like a beetle and a little like a bee, but nothing like a woolly grub that climbs upon a tree. Its name is quite a hard one, but you will learn it soon. I hope so. Try, try, anti-wanty. Try anti-wanty gongolop. This name is funny, isn't it? The poet C.J. Dennis describes an insect in this poem. He calls this insect as a funny insect. We don't see it regularly. It is not like a spider or a fly. It is like a beetle. Beetle means it is kind of an insect. And it is woolly grub means made of wool. And its name is Trantivanti gongolop. It lives on weeds and wattle gum and has a funny face. Its appetite is hearty and its manners a disgrace. When first you come upon it, it will give you quite a scare. But when you look for it again, you find it isn't there. And unless you call it softly, it will stay away and mope. So try, try anti-wanty gongolop. Now let us see the hard words first. It lives on weeds. Weeds means what? A white plant. And wattle gum. It is a secretion of some trees. Appetite. It's a natural desire of food. Disgrace. Loss of respect. Scare. Fear. Mope. Sad. So these are the hard words. Now let us see the explanation. This insect lives on weeds and wattle gum. It has a funny face. It likes to eat but has no manners, no respect for others. It will scare us at the first time and next time you won't find it there because it will run away from there and it thinks that you will hurt it or because of it has no respect. Disgrace means what? Loss of respect. It won't stay there for long time. Now let us see page number 22. It trembles if you tickle it or tread upon its toes. It is not an early riser, but it has a snubbish nose. If you sneer at it or scold it, it will scuttle off in shame. But it purrs and purrs quite proudly if you call it by its name and offer it some sandwiches of sealing wax and soap. So try, try anti-wanty gongolop. Let us see the hard words. Trembles means what? It is a reflex motion caused by a fear. Tickle, touch lightly so as to excite the surface. Toes, toes means put down. Snubbish, short and fat. Sneer, making smile. Scuttle, run hurriedly or quickly. Purse, makes soft sound. Sealing wax, it is a mixture of shellac and resin. Now let us see the explanation. It trembles means shake as a result of excitement, and if you tickle means touch it. If you touch it, it tread means it went away. It awakes late and it has snubbish means short and fat nose. It purrs when we call it and gives sandwiches of sealing wax and soap. But of course you haven't seen it and truthfully confess that I haven't seen it either and I don't know its address, for there isn't such an insect, though there really might have been if the trees and grass were purple and the sky was bottle green. It is just a little joke of mine, which you will forgive, I hope. Oh, try, try anti-vonti, try anti-vonti, gongolop. In the last stanza, the poet confesses, means he admits that neither we nor he had seen such an insect. It is in his imagination. We can see this insect only when grass and trees are in purple color. The sky will be in bottle green color. The poet wants our forgiveness as jokingly he was telling about the insect. Means the poet C.J. Dennis hasn't seen this kind of insect anywhere, but it is in his imagination only. Now let us see the exercise. Question 1. Read the poem aloud using proper intonation. You should read this poem with proper rising and falling tone. Question 2. Note that we say its appetite, its manners, and not its appetite or its manners. Its mean it is and its means belonging to it. As I am reading it, you won't find any difference. But when you see page number 22, question 2, you will notice that there are two its. In one it there is its and another its. It is it apostrophe s. So that it means it is and its means belonging to it. We call or we use it for to show the possession. Now let us see question 3. It's an activity. Question first. Is the insect described in the poem a real insect? Think about an imaginary creature. Describe it in your own words. You may draw its picture and label it. Means like a poet C.J. Dennis has described an imaginary insect, you should also describe it. And the answer is given here. So I have these imaginary insects in my mind. You can draw any picture of it. Question 2. Think of other funny names for imaginary creatures. Write any three of them. I have written three here. If you want to write other one, you can write it. In this way, we have finished the poem and exercise 2. Listen it carefully and solve the exercise in the notebook. Thank you.